Alright, so with the recent bust with the old slime collab units, I really feel like this is a good starting point to buff units in the future as well. So basically, I think that they should, whenever they decide to drop duplicate characters, I think they should buff old duplicate characters, right? I think they should buff them. Honestly, at this point, they could buff every single duplicate character and it wouldn't be that bad. Even like Lost Vein Melee. I actually would say, like, even Lost Vein Melee, there's just certain things that he could use buff with. First off, his crit resistance. The thing that sucks about Lost Vein is they made this unit like, you have to be crit. You have to take crits, man, for his passive to proc. That's the only thing that sucks about this Lost Vein. So if they decide, okay, we want to buff, you know, the Lost Vein Meliodas' crit resistance to 60, well, that in itself will hurt this Lost Vein because he won't be able to take as much crits. He just won't with 60%. He definitely could still take some, but it won't be as common for sure. But yeah, before we get into the video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Help me out. Hopefully we can reach 5.7k subscribers, really close to 6k. So I would like to hit that before the end of the year. Hopefully we can do that. But anyway, yeah, so buffing old units. I almost forgot what I was talking about. Buffing the old units. So they could buff all these old units. Like if they decide to drop another Demon Melee, they could for sure buff the stats of old Demon Meliodas units. So do I have anything changing him? Life still doesn't really matter. So yeah, so we look at the old stats of the units and we just like, no. Like, no, like, this is not okay. 19.5% crit resistance. No, that's not okay. We need buffs to these old units. So let's say if like Demon Melee drop now, and they definitely can do it. They proved that with these recent buffs to the slime collab units. So let's say they buffed his resistance to 50, they buff his pierce rate. Well, here's the problem as well. Buffing pierce rate for the melee units would, no, they could do that. No, they could definitely do it. I was gonna say it might be too much, but I feel like they could. I feel like they could. Yeah, they definitely could. 57.5. That's a lot of pierce rate. Does he get pierce? He has 60% pierce. I mean, that's powerful. That is pretty powerful. Okay, so I mean, I guess they could leave the pierce rate the same, because that's one thing you got to take into consideration when buffing the old units that are duplicates. They share similar stats, not really like identical, but similar stats. You know, like this melee is at 61 pierce rate, but that melee, that the blue melee would be at like what, 60 or something like that, 60.5 or whatever the case may be. Also weapons taken to account as well. But I mean, let's look at this unit right here, right? So we super awaken. He doesn't get any pierce. He doesn't get any pierce. So what's his pierce? 53.5. So yeah, like I said, they're similar stats, but they're not like identical. Like, they're not identical to each other. I don't think anything's changed. Yeah, like recovery rate, not, who cares? Who cares about that? But yeah, there's not too much that's different with these with the stats there, but they could definitely decide to buff him. Like, they could make his resistance like 50, the crit chance could be going up to 80 or something like that. Crit damage could, his crit damage is fine actually. His crit damage would be all right. Yeah, his crit damage is fine. Like oh my god, the crit resistance needs to be like at 70 or something for these demon melees. Crit defense can again be at 70. Is this his lifesteal? Oh, I can't take it off. Oh my, okay, so wait, his lifesteal is being up by 3.2. That's actually pretty decent lifesteal. Yeah, his lifesteal actually is pretty solid. But yeah, they could buff old units. Who's another like old king? The old kings. Nah, the better option would be this king because he's completely maxed out everything. But yeah, the old kings, like, they could buff theirs. Please, God, please. Like, what are we doing with 18% crit resistance? We're dying. That's what we're doing. We're dying. We could buff the crit resistance, the crit defense. His lifesteal is 4. His lifesteal is at 4%. Easily can make that like 8 or 10. easily. That wouldn't break the character. I'm telling you right now, wouldn't make him busted or anything like that. His pierce rate is fine. Resistance can go up again like 60 or something like that. They can make the crit chance around 70. Crit damage can go to 190, maybe even 200, because he's not a crit based unit. He's not a crit based unit. His skills are horrible. The multipliers on his skills are atrocious. Like, they're actually like abysmal. 200 at max for this one, and it was this one 180. Oh no, no, that's the same one. What is this? Yeah, 180. It's horrible. Like, these are horrible numbers. So buffing his substats and then his basic stats a little bit wouldn't like make him he's too busted. We gotta nope. Skinny Kings are now too busted, right? It depends too, whenever they decide to drop more Skinny Kings and stuff like that, what that updated unit has. But at the same time, it's like, yo, these units need buffs, bro. They need the buffs, man. It's not even like it's not even funny. They just need buffs. So like old fat king, like please, dear God. His Holy Relic, though, I'm not gonna lie, his Holy Relic does help him out in stats. It does, because his Holy Relic increases all stats by 3% for every debuff effect on the enemy for maximum 10 times. So if you use him with Kyo, he's looking good, right, for stats. So he can get up to 30% to his original substats, which is insane, because he'll be at 58% pierce rate. He'll be at, what is this, 67% resistance. His regen will actually be pretty high too. What is that, 80% regen? Horrible crit chance no matter what. So what we're looking at, 51, 187. Like, okay, like what his, okay, so this makes it doable, I guess, right? It makes him doable, but he's just not a good unit. Like, the Fat Kings are just not good units. They're not. And the fact that he relies on debuffs hurts him as well. So like, if they want to buff his substats whenever they bring out a new Fat King, that'd be cool. They can make the pierce rate higher, like at 40. Keep in mind with his Holy Relic, they can make the resistance at 50. Regen's fine. They can make the, please, dear God, make the crit chance like, I don't even care, like 80 or something like that. Like, he's not gonna be busted if he's critting with these cards. Like, he's not. Especially he only has one attack skill and then he heals. Like, he's not gonna be busted. He'll be okay. Like, but Net Marble, he's not gonna be too crazy where he's on the level of Darkness Melee. He'll be alright, I promise you. But yeah, you know, they could definitely help him out in terms of that. Make his crit damage like 200. His crit resistance can go up to 60 easily. Crit defense again 60. Like, they could do so much, man. Units that definitely need it is like Gila. Bruh, Gila needs it. Gil Thunder can use the buffs as well. I know his Holy Relic, he buffs like what, crit defensive related stats or something like that. With his Holy Relic, I can't even remember. Yeah, like, so like resistance, crit resistance, and crit defense. So at max he can get up to what, 40% from his Holy Relic for crit resistance and crit defense. But check this out. Check this out, guys. So he can get up to 40%, right? 34 crit resistance. He's at 74, completely built up with ultimate move gauge. He has 51.5% crit defense. I'm sorry, it's funny. His crit defense is good. It actually is pretty good. 90 around there. Crit defense. Resistance is just, his resistance is going to be insane because of his passive. So he doesn't, like, this is what I mean. Like, they can take their time buffing these units, but they definitely could do it. They definitely could. Keep in mind, they all share the same name, like Holy Knight Gil Thunder, Holy Knight, or Guardian Gil Thunder, and then this is a Holy Knight Gil Thunder. But they pretty much all share like similar stats as well. Weird, like they did weird design choice with these Gil Thunders and stuff like that. But yeah, so the Holy Knight Gil Thunders are different from the anything changing the nothing too crazy. They are different from the SSRs, but all in all, like, these units could definitely use the buffs as well. 203% crit damage. Oh, because he has Spike. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter because he's never gonna fucking crit anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. He has 42 crit chance, so right, it doesn't really matter. He has shot. It's just terrible. they won't do too much with SRs. They probably won't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, they can make this like 44%. I wouldn't be mad if they just went balls to the wall with some of these buffs. Like, if for SRs at least, they can, if they like made this like 80 something percent pierce, if they just made this like 80% crit resistance, if they went balls to the wall, made this like 100 crit chance, like I wouldn't be mad like at all. Like, this, they do need buffs, man. It just makes it to where the units are usable and more fun. Like, I wouldn't be mad at all. Extra percent or 15% to his crit defense. Let me see. What is that? 45 crit defense with an extra boost from his from his holy relic. He'd be at what? 80, 85 or something like that crit defense, and then 70 something crit resistance. I mean, sure, I guess, sure, right? But yeah, definitely could take their time when buffing these old units. Again, they proved it with the Slime collab units. Again, we are global players. We are going to be able to see the actual buffs next week. We will actually see the buffs to like Rimuru, Milim, and Benimaru. I have a lot of work to do for these units, because I want to use all three of them. I do. I have never worked on Benimaru at all because I just did not like his design. I just didn't. But with his buffs, he actually is viable, and so is Milim. Milim is pretty much the clear winner of the three that got buffed, but Rimuru is a good tank. His damage is shit, but he's a good tank once he gets buffed. But look at it. Look at their stat. I mean, I guess it's not fair to compare without Super Awakening them, right? So, you know, if you want to look at them with Super Awakening, you can definitely do that, but I'm not. But look at the stats without Super Awakening them. It's not like Super Awakening gives them a crazy amount anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But like, that's horrible. It's terrible shit. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. What unit do you personally want to see get buffed out of the old like units, like Diane's, Demon Melees, Nunchuck, Brawler Bonds? They did buff Brawler Bonds, so I can't really complain too much about that. The old Arthurs, the old Escanors. Like, let me know what unit you personally. I want to see buffs to Zeldris. Oh my god, I want to see buffs to Zaddy Zell. Because if we can get some buffs to from Zeldris, that's not gonna be like, this is fine because there's no substats being changed. If we could see some of these stats from Zeldris get buffed, please, dear god, like that. What does he get with right here? Pierce rate 15%. His pierce rate gets a buff for 15%. That's not bad. He goes up to what? I want to say 65, 62 or some shit like that. It's just something like that. That's not bad pierce, but again, like, I want to see buffs to Zeldris. They don't have to do too much either to buff him. They could make his crit resistance and crit defense easily at like 90 both. That'd be pretty simple. His, I'm being honest, his crit chance needs to be like at 100 or something, like 120 or I don't know, man. They need to buff his crit chance. I could, like, with the crit defense, I could make these like re-roll these to do crit chance, but his crit damage is. They could do something with a holy relic. We'll have to see what his holy relic's looking like. Excuse me, I have to see what his holy relic's looking like. But yeah, they definitely could buff his stats for sure. He's not horrible, but he's horrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not horrible in terms of like substats. Like, he doesn't need too much to be crazy, but his skills suck. Like, they just suck. One hit on every skill is just atrocious. Maybe they could make his holy relic like something with just, I don't know, make his skills like just do a shit ton more damage. I don't know. Let me know which old units you want to see buffed in the future. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, you guys already know, I will see you all later.